Vikram, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your proudest achievements, something that you would not like to repeat?
One thing is that I am a proud surgeon. If you can call me, I am practically at the age of 48 financially free. I still remember the first mutual fund I bought. So it was 1000 rupees. What is the thing I would not like to repeat? Some of the plans which are money back, I would not avoid.
Insurance.
Yeah, insurance plus money back things. This can be avoided.
Hello everyone, there is this perception in India that there are two kinds of people. One who work in finance and know all about finance, and the other who do different kinds of things and know nothing about finance. This is far from the truth. There are lots of people who do different kinds of jobs, who work in different kinds of professions, but take a lot of interest in finance, who've taken control of their own money basically. And coming to doctors especially, a lot of doctors in the past, and my parents included, never spent any time on finance. That is also rapidly changing. My guest today, Dr. Vikram Lotwala, is unusual because he's a doctor, but he takes a lot of interest in finance, in managing his money, and not just him, but there's a group of doctors in Surat who religiously keep themselves updated on what's happening in the financial world. So without further ado, Vikram, great having you.
Thank you.
Let's start with your childhood. So you stay in Surat now, but
Right.
you were actually born in Maharashtra.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about your childhood?
I've been born and brought up in Jalgaon. My schooling is from Jalgaon. My MBBS in 1993 I did from Nashik.
So do you consider yourself a Gujarati or a Maharashtrian?
I am born, brought up and in heart as a Maharashtrian.
So Vikram, medicine and engineering are the default careers for Indians.
Right.
Is a big part of that just money, that you make a lot more money as a doctor? Was that partly in your mind when you were deciding what to do?
I think money might be one of the smaller factors. Actually, we have been from a business family, and money was not that much a source of inspiration rather than the branch which I wanted to go with.
So now coming to your main work, gastric surgery, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm basically trained in obesity surgery, what we call as bariatric surgery, and now metabolic surgery.
Right. Now coming to the link between physical fitness and financial fitness, is there one? You've seen patients, you've seen lots of investors come to your group, give talks, etc. Is there a link, do you think?
Absolutely. I feel mental peace in investing is more important. If you are not at mental peace, and physical fitness is one of the important factors, both are very important in investing. You have to be patient, probably like a sage, and then invest. If you are going to take decisions in a hurry, then probably there are all chances that you might lose money. Don't be instinctive in this. So be with a calm mind, and calm mind comes with a healthy body, I believe. So health is one of the important factors even for investors. What is the point of having so much money when you have lost that? See, no amount of money can get back to your health. Whatever you have lost in health, probably it's very difficult to get back even with money. Be healthy with your health, or rather with your mental status also, and then invest. Probably that would definitely help any investor for that kind.
And I guess it also works the other way around. If you're doing very stressful investments, very frequent trading, then that's going to impact your ability to stay.
Yes, absolutely it works. You'll have a lot of acidity, a lot of sleeplessness if you have not invested properly. So it works both the ways, definitely.
So now let's come to how you invest your money. When did you first start thinking about this? When did you first apply your mind to this question?
It all started with when I was in my post graduation. Obviously, we don't have that kind of money. So I am talking about 2003-4. I was reading a lot about it, but as with a young doctor, you don't have so much of finances with that. So you start your practice, you take a lot of loans, and there is no money to invest actually. So you are paying your debt first, and then probably you are thinking about the investments. So 2010 is exactly 23 years back I started investing in mutual funds. I still remember the first mutual fund I bought. So it was 1000 rupees. I started with 1000.
Was it a
rupees.
SIP or was it a lump sum?
SIP. It was a SIP, and till 2015 it was 1000, 2000, and gradually then as the income started increasing, we started increasing our investments also, and by that time I was totally debt free.
Did you rely on a financial advisor or distributor?
Absolutely. It started with the financial advisor. It was, I think that time we did not have direct funds, and as with every one of us, we start with somebody who's given us a policy and that policy, and then he is also your advisor for your mutual funds and your financial advice. So
Somebody in the society or neighborhood? Or?
Yeah, somebody from our neighborhood started with that, and that is how probably most of us start.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how you began, and I'm sure that money has compounded phenomenally.
Absolutely.
Over the years. Have you ever tried to look back and see how much it has compounded?
Unfortunately, I had to stop most of the funds because those were not good funds to be selection. But eventually, as experience grew and confidence grew, I think this is my 9th or 10th year where I have taken over and managing my own finance.
Right. And what resources do you use to learn about finance?
Yeah, reading all good magazines actually, and television was little on the lower side, but reading, most of the reading from books and investment magazines, the monthly magazines what we have, I started reading from that. I was reading more of mutual funds than individual stocks. I did not have confidence to invest in stocks. The only stock I invested early in 2012 was Reliance, only one single stock. Then in 2013 I bought 10 ONGCs. Equity investing I started in 16. So I'll tell you, for 6 years I was only into mutual funds.
And those 3 stocks that you did buy, what made you buy them?
Just tips from people around. Reliance everybody knows. So Reliance is one stock which everybody would be having in their portfolio. Yes Bank was a tip definitely, and ONGC I read that it was going to give some dividends, so I bought those time, and I eventually sold it after a few months.
So tell me more about your journey. 2016 you took control.
Yes.
And you began reading. You have a group that discusses and meets every month about finance. Yes. Is that when it started also?
Yes. 2016, 50 of us started actually. 50 people, 50 doctors from Surat. We used to meet a lot, but we never were discussing finance, and someday we thought that why not start a group. WhatsApp was very new that time, and I think we had a limit of 150 people. So we started with 50 people discussing, and now we have a waiting list. We have already 1025 doctors from, not only from Gujarat, all over the country, but few from Australia, USA and Gulf also. So we have a long waiting list for joining that. We tried to move to Telegram also, but we are more comfortable with WhatsApp, as most Indian would be. So yes, and I'll tell you one thing, I take a lot of pride in this, that we have got many feedbacks from people that this has helped us a lot financially. Some people have got, because of this group, their kids admission into medical colleges. Some have got their daughters married because of the investment they have seen because of this group and the financial advice there. It's not an advice, rather it is a group discussion. Nobody gives a tip that you buy this or that. It's a general discussion and people take it from there.
Basically knowledge sharing among peers.
Yes, absolutely. And it was never made for a stock discussion or a fund discussion. It was only about finance, how to manage your finances, how to invest, about insurance, about PPF, about NPS. This is all that. We never do tips trading or something like that. No, we don't do that.
Right. In terms of mistakes that people might have been making earlier and then they figured out, especially among doctors, what would you say other?
I myself is a big victim, and I'll tell you that I have still got that one fund, money back guarantee fund. I'm still paying
insurance.
Yes, 2008, but because I've been invested for so many years, I'm just continuing it.
Vikram, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your proudest achievements, something that you would not like to repeat?
Yeah. One thing is that I am a proud surgeon, bariatric surgeon. Secondly, I take a lot of pride in the finance work, what awareness work, what we are doing. We are regularly doing as the workshops here in Surat, try to do it every month. I feel that I am trying to give it back to the society. The Almighty has given me some knowledge about finance, and I am happy to share that. I always believe that the more you share, the probably more you might get it.
Correct.
But that is how I am happy about sharing the financial education to our friends around. And what is the thing I would not like to repeat? So that is what some of the plans which are money back, I would not avoid.
Insurance.
Yeah, insurance plus money back things, this can be avoided. I am a part of one of those plans, and I would advise that people take a rational investing decision of investing in a fund plus a direct a direct term plan, rather than getting a money back insurance plan.
So Vikram, let's talk about health insurance. As a doctor, what kind of health insurance policy do you have? How much are you covered for?
Okay, so I think कोविड एक वाटरशेड फिनोमेनन था सबके लिए. सो व्हाट आई हैव डन इज़ कि मैंने पॉलिसी लिया, अपना मेडिक्लेम पॉलिसी इंक्रीज़ किया है, और एक जनरल इन्फॉर्मेशन मैं सबको देना चाहूँगा कि आप मेडिकल कवर अच्छा लीजिए, और दूसरा कि उसके ऊपर आप सुपर टॉपअप में ज़रूर जाइए. सुपर टॉपअप बहुत सस्ता होता है. सो आपकी एक बेसिक पॉलिसी होती है, अगर 10 लाख 15 लाख जो भी है, उसके ऊपर आप एक टॉपअप या सुपर टॉपअप लीजिए. टॉपअप से ज़्यादा सुपर टॉपअप है, जो आपको करीब 20, 30, 40 और 1 करोड़ 20-30 लाख के ऊपर भी 1 करोड़ के आसपास का आपको कवर मिल सकता है. जस्ट विथ फ्यू हंड्रेड रुपीज़ आप ये ले सकते हो. सो एवरीबडी शुड गो फॉर बेसिक हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, ये कंपलसरी है. सेकेंड, उसके साथ एक सुपर टॉपअप लीजिए. स्पेशली अगर डॉक्टर्स के लिए बात की जाए तो एक आपको उसके साथ एक एक्स्ट्रा बेनिफिट ये लेना चाहिए कि परमानेंट डिसेबिलिटी जो होता है वो डॉक्टर्स के लिए थोड़ा इम्पॉर्टेंट मैं मानता हूँ. और एक चीज़ मैं ऐड करना चाहूँगा कि जिसकी फैमिली में कैंसर वगैरह या हार्ट प्रॉब्लम की इश्यूज़ है, उन लोगों ने क्रिटिकल इलनेस कवर के बारे में भी ज़रूर सोचना चाहिए. ये एक छोटा सा क्लॉज होता है आपकी पॉलिसी में, ये बंडल होके भी मिल सकता है, बट इसके बारे में ज़रूर सोचिए. सिर्फ हेल्थ पॉलिसी नहीं, क्रिटिकल इलनेस और परमानेंट डिसेबिलिटी के बारे में सोचिए, और सुपर टॉपअप आपने ज़रूर लेना चाहिए.
आपने पॉलिसी चूज़ कैसे की? हाउ डिड यू रिसर्च दैट दिस इज़ द पॉलिसी आई वांट टू गो फॉर?
ओके, पॉलिसी एक तो सबसे पहला है कि कितने मेंबर्स एनरोल्ड है, वो एक आपको देखना ज़रूरी है. इजी वो नंबर्स आपको IRDA की वेबसाइट पे सब कुछ मिल जाता है. दूसरा कि क्लेम सेटलमेंट स्टेटस कितना है, रिजेक्शन स्टेटस कितना है. सो ये 3-4 चीज़ आपको देखना चाहिए.
So Vikram, coming to your savings and how you approach them, you have a family, you have a son.
Yeah.
What percentage of your income do you manage to save?
I have been very lucky with that. See, I have got investments in few hospitals. I am a partner there. So, if you can call me, I am practically at the age of 48 financially free presently. So, I can go for a holiday for months together. So, that's the biggest advantage I have got.
Where would you go if you had the choice?
I would rather go to Europe. London is my favorite place. I always tell people around me that investment is equal to income minus or probably if your income minus savings is equal to expense, rather than income minus expense is equal to saving. I would rather invest first. So, all my investments, all my SIPs are within first 5 days of the month, and whatever is left probably I will spend that kind of money. If I could put in percentage, 60% of my income goes in investment presently, and that is how I was able to invest in good units or in good hospitals. So, I believe that the earlier you become financially free, the better you will be tension free for your retirement age.
Do you think of your savings as mapped to particular goals, like your son?
Yes, always. So, there would be at least 3 to 4 goals. One would be for most of the people, I have already achieved those goals, but for people at large, I would say one is buying your house, your children's education, your kids' education, and their marriage. And then the smaller goals would be a foreign visit, but most of the people, at least for doctors, these are not much of a issues because of the free cash flow they would be getting. So these are the goals. You should be first, this should be your first target in your financial planning, and then rest of the things will fall into place.
In terms of home, do you own your house?
Yeah. If you think about the financial investment, it goes into buying a house. There is a thought process that rather you should rent it out and stay in that rented place and then purchasing a house. So I have a more inclination towards that thought process.
So Vikram, you started with one SIP in one fund. Tell me about your portfolio now. How big is it? How many funds do you have?
It's 3 members, 3 funds. For me, there is a flexi cap fund. For my wife, it is a index fund. And for my kid, because he has a long way to go, I have kept a small cap fund. So if you ask me my investment, so I would tell that 80% would go into 3 funds of this, and 20% would go into direct equity. I am a kind of investor who is a value investor. So unless I see value in the market, unless until there is a value, I would be investing. Otherwise, kind of the market presently, I don't see value in a lot of stocks presently, so I won't be investing. And my most investment would be in large caps, few mid caps, and I have rather 1 or 2 small cap stocks in my portfolio.
There will be an interesting test of the active versus passive debate. Does your wife's index fund win out, or does your flexi cap fund win out?
No, I'm very proud to say that my flexi cap is winning, and I am very happy with that investment. 3 times rather, the investment has been giving me returns in last 6-7 years.
You know, if your wife is watching this, she should not be happy.
She won't be. She is a MBA herself, and she knows about few things about finance. But that is how we have distributed the funds among ourselves.
So let's talk about retirement. You're already financially free. If you wanted, you could retire tomorrow.
Right.
But have you thought of an age where you genuinely feel that now it's time to retire, and at any corpus that you think is sufficient?
Yeah, corpus is an important question. See, doctors never retire. To answer your question, 20 times if you have your annual income in your portfolio, probably you're financially free. I won't retire till my body is working. I'm trying to keep myself healthy. I'll be working at least for next 10-15 years if everything goes well. So that would be probably, if I would retire only with my health issues rather than the financial aspect.
You know, Vikram, in modern times, we are faced with this constant social media pressure to look successful, and that propels us to buy expensive cars, go on expensive holidays. Absolutely. Especially in your profession, I think it's extremely prevalent. How do you deal with that?
Basically, to do all that, आपके पास time होना चाहिए. I don't think so many doctors, yeah, there are very few doctors who would be having luxurious cars. Most of the doctors, if they have a passion for, would have a very good hospital, very neatly built a hospital. They would put their money there and a good home.
विक्रम सर, एक आखिरी क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछूंगा. फाइनेंस की दुनिया में अनेक तरह की एजेंट्स होते हैं, इंश्योरेंस एजेंट्स होते हैं, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स होते हैं, एडवाइसर्स होते हैं, और सोशल मीडिया आजकल बहुत बढ़ गया. तो इन सबको आप किसी नए निवेशक को कैसे नेविगेट करना चाहिए?
गुड क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली नील. मैं एक ही चीज़ कहना चाहूँगा कि अगर आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट के बारे में कुछ भी मालूम नहीं है और आप जानते हो कि आपका कोई एक एडवाइज़र है, फैमिली मेम्बर है या फ्रेंड है जो रिलायबल है, आई वुड रादर गिव अ मैसेज कि आप उनकी हेल्प ले लेना चाहिए. क्योंकि अगर आप खुद इन्वेस्ट करना चाह रहे हो और आपको कुछ भी पता नहीं है, रादर यू वुड बी मेकिंग अ मिस्टेक, आप ज़्यादा गलती कर सकते हो. तो एक रिलायबल अगर आपका कोई फ्रेंड है और जो आपको इन्वेस्ट करने में हेल्प कर सकता है, ऑलवेज बेटर टू टेक हिज. आई एम नॉट ट्राइंग टू पुश एडवाइज़र इन बिटवीन, बट लेकिन अगर आपको कुछ भी नहीं पता है तो आप एक एडवाइज़र की हेल्प ले सकते हो. देर आर ओनली फाइनेंशियल प्लानर्स अवेलेबल इन द कंट्री, उनकी हेल्प ले सकते हो जो जिनको कोई कमीशन होता नहीं है, बट दे विल एडवाइज यू, आपका एक प्लान बना के दे सकते हैं. सो ये एक निगलेक्टेड पार्ट है इन्वेस्टमेंट बिजनेस का इंडिया में कि फाइनेंशियल एडवाइज़र्स आर अवेलेबल हु आर ओनली फॉर फीस, उनकी आप हेल्प ले सकते हो. दूसरा, कि इंडेक्स सोशल मीडिया में बहुत बच के रहना चाहिए. देर आर सो मेनी इन्फ्लुएंसर्स जो अपने पर्सनल गेन के लिए बहुत सारी एडवाइसेस देते हैं. तो रादर आपको सोशल मीडिया से टिप्स ट्रैकिंग करना अवॉइड करना चाहिए. खुद का स्टडी होना चाहिए. खुद का एक आप एक स्टडी बनाइए और उसके ऊपर एक आपका जब तक कन्विक्शन नहीं आएगा कि मेरे को इस तरीके से करना है, तब तक इन्वेस्ट करना एक्चुअली गलती हो सकता है.
Great having you.
थैंक यू.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.